Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. A few weeks ago, the Commandant of the Marine Corps came out and made a statement while visiting troops in Norway, in Europe. He made a statement to them that war was coming. That war indeed was coming, and that they should be prepared for it. In his words, he declared that and I quote, big ass fight was coming. It was an article that came out a few weeks ago. I'm looking for it now. I'm going to read some of it in its entirety. And it reads here, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Robert Nealor, told troops Thursday that there is a war coming and urged them to be prepared. He says here, I hope I'm wrong, but there is a war coming. Nealor told Marines stationed in Norway, doing a visit there according to military.com. It goes on to say, you're in a fight here, an international fight, a political fight by your presence, he added. The Commandant pointed to Russia and the Pacific Theater. Listen, attune your ears to what is being said. The Commandant pointed to Russia and the Pacific Theater as the next major areas of conflict, predicting, and I quote here, a big ass fight in the future. Goes on to say, just remember why you are here, he said. They are watching just like you watch them. They watch you. We've got 300 Marines up here. We could go from 300 to 3,000 overnight. We could raise the bar. And I'll put this link in the video if you want to read this video in its entirety. I'll put this link rather in the video if you want to read this article in its entirety. The date of this article was dated on December 22nd. So as I stated, it was a few weeks ago. And I was tempted to make a video about it a couple of weeks ago, but I've been derailed for one reason or another. Perhaps maybe I just wasn't motivated to make a video about it because there's so much going on, Zion, that it's hard to keep up with, one. And two, if we pay attention to everything that is going on around us, then we're just going to be distracted just like the rest of the world. And that's part of the deception, to lead us into distraction, to lead us astray, and to lead us away from Yah. But not unlike everything else, and I want to make this point, not unlike everything else, not unlike, entertainment, not unlike governments, not unlike movies and television and music and what have you, it's all a distraction. It's all smoke and mirrors. What we must understand, Zion, is that ever since the fall of man, ever since the fall of Adam, you see, the world, the YAHUAH'S, were originally created in the image of Yahuwah. But after the fall, the YAHUAH'S were reshaped in the image of Shutdown. It was reshaped in the image of Shutdown. And so everything that we see, everything that we behold has been reshaped into the image of Shutdown. And it has been designed, moreover, to kill us, to take us out. Many of you who follow YAHUAH'S videos through me at any link, you've heard me quote something said in a movie that I once watched that was starring Will Smith and his son, Jalen Smith, and the title of the movie was called After Earth. And in that movie, Jalen and his father, Will, had crashed on Earth. And Will says something very profound to his son in that movie, and he asked him a question. He asked him if he knew where he was. And his son indicated that he did not. And Will Smith went on to say that, tell him that this is Earth, that you are on. We've crash landed on Earth, that this is Earth, and everything in it has evolved to kill you. Everything in it has evolved to kill you. So I submit to you, Zion, on this, y'all, and I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to talk about a few things. But I submit to you, Zion, on this, y'all, that this is Earth. And everything in it has evolved to kill us. Everything in it has evolved to kill us. The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the pride of life. This is of this fallen earth that has been shaped in the image of Shutdown. The governments, the school system, everything in its zone, the news, the propaganda news, everything that we have been taught, everything that we have been taught to be to accept as truth, is in fact a lie, and it has been designed to kill us, to lead us astray, to get us addicted and attached to this false Babylonian system, such as to draw us away, such as to draw our gaze away from the Most High Yah, and such as to draw our gaze away from the only thing that gives life, from the only thing that gives chai, which is the bread of life, which is the engrafted word of the Most High Yah. Turah. Turah. So everything in it has been designed as smoke and mirrors. It has been designed to kill us and to lead us astray and to keep us enslaved to this system, What does that have to do with the Commandant of the Marine Corps making this statement? What does that have to do with that? And what does that have to do with the government shutdown that's going on? What does that have to do with that? Well, as I indicated, Zion, everything is smoke and mirrors. Everything is smoke and mirrors. What most do not understand is that there are no true enemies on the YAHUAH'S. There are no true enemies. There really aren't any sovereign nations, Zion, on the YAHUAH'S. There are no sovereign nations. There are nations indeed, but all nations and all governments are controlled by a select elite group, a small group of people that control all the governments of the YAHUAH'S, and that control all the nations of the YAHUAH'S, that control all the militaries of the YAHUAH'S. And they indeed get a kick out of starting wars. They start the wars amongst each other, using our sons and daughters as pawns, using our sons and daughters as cannon fodder. For one, I would dare say is entertainment. Two, to bring about the reduction of population, because it is their goal to reduce the population down to 500 million people, and to create utter chaos, so that out of chaos a new world order will arise. You see, this is the whole goal. They don't care about nations. They don't care about war. They don't care about people dying. You see, their ultimate goal is to throw the entire world into utter chaos, so that out of the ashes a phoenix will arise, so that out of chaos a new world order will arise, so that the literal, tangible kingdom of Shutdown will be manifested, a kingdom of darkness where magic will be the norm rather than the exception, where supernatural manifestations will be the norm rather than the exception, where utter evil will be the norm rather than the exception. You see, they've been programming you for this all along. This is what the homosexual agenda is about. This is what the transgender agenda is all about. This is what these perverse laws are all about with respect to bestiality in Canada, with respect to same-sex marriage, with respect to the whole argument about transgenderism. You see, this is what this is all about. It's about programming. To program you to accept good as evil and evil as good, so that this Nimrod's reign, the reign of Shinar, Babylon, will once again be manifest in the Ha'ads. This is the end goal. This is their end goal. They don't care about nations. They don't care about economies. They don't care about governments. They don't care about money. Hear me. They don't care about money because their prince gives them anything that they want, because he is the prince of this world for a short season. They don't care about money. They use money as a means, as a mechanism to control the population. They don't care about it. In fact, one of the Rothschilds said that, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head because I'm speaking to you off cuff, but he even said, give him control of the money of the banks, and he cares not who makes the laws. He cares not who makes the laws, because money controls everything. If you control the money, you control the governments and you control the masses. So they use money as a mechanism to control countries, to control nations, and to control governments, to bring about the end goal of a new world order, of Nimrod's reign, of Hashatan's reign, of a kingdom, of a literal kingdom of darkness being erected, a one world rule, a one world government under the rule of a resurrected Nimrod, whom I believe Hashatan will place his spirit, his ruach, into the resurrected body of Nimrod. Or I do also believe that they're trying to resurrect Nimrod, the ruach of Nimrod, to be reanimated. Either way, Hashatan is going to get the worship, because Nimrod is being worshipped as Hashatan. Hashatan is getting the worship through Nimrod. But this is the end goal. This is the end goal. This is what war is used for. This is what governments are used for. This is what money is used for. This is the end goal. This is the end goal. So why do I bring this up? Why do I bring this up? Well, the Commandant of the Marine Corps mentioned that the next war was going to be fought in Europe, and he pointed toward Russia and the Pacific region. Why did he do that? Well, recently, Russia and China came out and said that they are moving away from the petrodollar to a gold-backed currency. Iran will join them. Iran is going to join them. Now, we have seen what happens to a nation or a government or someone when they threaten to move away from the petrodollar. Remember Muammar Gaddafi? Remember Saddam Hussein? You see, this is what happens to governments when they threaten to move away from the petrodollar. Syria is going on right now. Here's another example. It's another example when governments threaten to move away from the petrodollar. Soon, the U.S. starts a war with that nation and sends that nation into destruction and utter chaos. This is what happens. And so, no different, true to form, Russia and China has come out and said that they're moving away from the petrodollar. And now this Marine Corps general here has come out and made the statement that the next major conflict that we are in for a, quote, and I quote, a big-ass fight is more than likely going to happen in Europe and in the Pacific region. North Korea comes to mind. China comes to mind. It's going to happen in the Pacific region. Meanwhile, here is what we need to understand. Again, as previously mentioned, all governments are controlled by a small group, an elite group of, I don't even call them people, I don't even call them human beings, and that's for another time. But I don't even consider them human beings. But a small group of people that control all governments and all nations. And so there really isn't any sovereign nations. And there really aren't any true enemies. There really aren't any true enemies. They're just playing nations as puppets to bring about the end goal, and that is to usher in a kingdom of darkness. To usher in a kingdom of darkness. But there are many levels to this pyramid. They're at the very top, Shutdown governing them, but there are many levels of this pyramid. The pyramid has different levels. Those who are not at the very top truly believe. Now I'm talking about leaders here. I'm not talking about the cannon fodder. I'm talking about those who are near the top but who are not at the top. But there are those who are at or near the top who believe that they are starting this war over the petrodollar. That they're indeed starting this war over the petrodollar. But they fail to understand that those at the very top of the pyramid, who are playing them like puppets, who are the true rulers of this world, who answer to Shutdown and who answer to the fallen ones, these are the controllers of the governments. They could care less about the petrodollar or any money for that matter. They are above money. They are above money. They don't need money. They merely use money as a means to control the masses and to control governments and to bring about the end goal, which is a one world government. By the way, that quote was made by Mayor Amschel Bauer Rothschild, and it reads here, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws." And so this is how this is their mindset. This is their mindset. They could care less about money. They're above money. They merely use it as a means of controlling governments like puppets. That's the end goal. That is the end goal. So war indeed is coming. Because it's Nabuah. War indeed is coming. But I want to wake up someone this day, if y'all willing. I just want to wake up someone on this yam and get you to understand, and get you to understand that you've got to detach from this world. You've got to detach from this world. You've got to detach from this system, because everything in this system is a lie. It is formed in the image of Shutdown, and it has been designed to kill us and to destroy us. It has been designed to kill us and to destroy us. Everything about this system is wicked. Everything about this system is wicked. You take the militaries of the world, for instance. The majority of the people serving in these militaries are good people. They're good men. They're sons and daughters, and they're either serving voluntarily, via patriotic means, or they're serving because they need a means of providing for themselves and for their families. And so they're totally oblivious to how to the purpose of these militaries, which all serve a evil purpose ultimately, which all serve a evil purpose, which all serve to suit the needs of this elite group of people who are in charge, who could care less about our sons and daughters, who are only using these militaries as cannon fodder and as puppets, as a means to bring about a new world order, to reduce the population and to bring about utter chaos. So that out of utter chaos, a new world order will arise. And so they use the money that they control, that they print, to control these governments, to control military, to control militaries, and to even control our sons and our daughters. You look at the sons of Jacob, how most of us, because of the oppression that we face, we don't have an even shake at things. We don't have an even shake at things. And so oftentimes, in order to make a living for ourselves, in order to provide for our families, many of us join the military. I'm a military veteran. I served 28 years in the military. Why did I serve? Because I needed to provide a living for myself. So I spent 28 years in the United States Coast Guard. I served, but knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't do it again. I probably would not do it again. Nevertheless, many of our sons and our daughters are enticed to military service based on the income, and they make it very lucrative. They pay them very well now, and they make it very lucrative. And thus, being attached to this system, wanting to fulfill the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, the lust of the flesh, wanting the things of this world, wanting the possessions of this world, our sons and our daughters, they headlong being drawn by shiny things, being drawn by that proverbial carrot to join these militaries, searching for a better way of life so that they too can have the things of this world. And so once again, they're using money to not only control the masses, to control our sons and our daughters, to control the governments and to control the militaries, but they're using money as a means to keep us attached to this wicked system, It's a game. It's all a game. It's all a game. And the only way to detach from this game is to come out of her, my people. It's to come out of her and to recognize this system, this fallen, wicked system, for what it is. To recognize this fallen, wicked system for what it is. This government shutdown is no different. It's a game. It is a distraction. It's a part of this wicked system. It is a part of this system that has been erected in the image of Shutdown. It is a game. It is a game that's being played. It is a game. All of it is a game. None of it is real. All of it has an end goal, Sion. All of it. All of it has an end goal. And the only way to properly see, is to come out of it, is to detach yourself from this system and set yourself apart to the Most High Yah. Nevertheless, war is coming. War is indeed coming. Possibly fought over the petrodollar. Maybe, it's already started. War started back in 2001, when they, the elite, orchestrated the destruction of the Twin Towers. It started back then, and it continues to this day. It continues to this day. And so the petrodollar may indeed be the spark that finally brings the world into utter chaos, into World War III. But war already started back in 2001. But world war is coming. It is Nabuah. It's Nabuah. In Hazun 6, it declares that a fourth of the world's population is going to die due to war, due to famine, due to disease, and due to wild beasts of the Eretz. Due to wild beasts of the Eretz. So war is indeed coming, and it is even at our doorsteps. Yaakov's distress is coming. It is indeed even at our doorsteps. Even at our doorsteps. Many people are going to perish in this season. Many are going to perish in this season. In fact, I'm not a Nabi. I don't know when. I know we're in the season. I'm not here telling you it's going to happen today. It's going to happen tomorrow, next week, or next year. I don't know. I do believe we're in the season. We're in the very season. We're on the brink of it. We're on the brink of Yaakov's distress, and we're on the brink of war. I'm just here to declare to you that you need to open your eyes, that you need to open your eyes to the deception. And if you're still paying attention to the smoke and mirrors that are going on around us in this wicked fallen system that has been designed or that has been erected in the image of Shutdown, come out of it. Come out of it and focus on things that are above. Keep your eyes focused on things which are in Shamayim and not on things which are below in this wicked, deceptive system that has been erected to destroy you, to destroy us. Everything in it, from religion to entertainment to governments to the food to the air to the water to the soil, everything in it. You literally cannot believe anything that you hear that's coming from this system. If it isn't coming from Yah, don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's a deception. It's a deception. War is even at our doorsteps. War is even at our doorsteps. It's even at our doorstep. Everything is a deception. Everything coming from the media and coming from the governments is predictive programming, designed just to keep us in deception and to program us. Donald Trump making quotes, talking about fire and fury, books coming out written about this fire and fury. It's all deception. Zion, and you have to do your own research, but I don't even believe that nuclear weapons exist. I believe that that's just a boogeyman to keep the world encapsulated to fear or enslaved to fear. I don't believe nuclear weapons exist. I mean, that's me. You have to do your own research. I don't believe nuclear weapons exist. Moreover, I don't believe that North Korea exists in the way that we think it exists. I don't. I believe that Kim Jong-un, if he in fact is a real person, that he is a puppet. He is a puppet. There are many sources that says that he was educated in the United States, that he was educated by the CIA. I happen to believe it. I don't believe that North Korea even exists in the way that we have been programmed to believe. Moreover, I don't believe that nuclear weapons exist. It is all a farce. It is all smoke and mirrors to keep us distracted from what's really important and to keep us enslaved to this system and to keep us enslaved to fear and to keep us dependent on the system and to keep us dependent to them, dependent on them. If they snatch the rug on us right now and pull the rug on this economic system, most people wouldn't know what to do because they're so dependent on it. They have gotten us away from knowing how to put our hands to the soil and raise our own food and raise our own animals and make our own clothes and build our own homes. They have stolen this knowledge away from us because they have gotten us dependent on this system to where now we no longer know how to do these things. And so if they snatch the rug away from under us on this day, the majority of the population would gladly and willingly take the mark on their right hand and on their forehead because they don't know how to provide for themselves. And they don't have enough amunah to depend on Yah. And they don't have the amunah to depend on Yah. And so they have gotten the majority of the world totally dependent on this wicked system. Whatever it says, whatever it tells them to do, they believe and they comply. They believe and they comply. They believe and they comply. So I've already spoken too long. I pray I didn't sound like I was rambling too much. Just wanted to get that off my proverbial chest to hopefully awaken somebody to just tune this garbage out, tune it out. Is it important that we know these things? Sure, it's important. But if you are a son or a daughter of the Most High Yah, cling to Him. Cling to Him. Hide yourself under the shadow of His wings. Hide yourself in the secret place of the Most High Yah, because He has declared that the deadly pestilence, it's not going to come near our tent. He has declared that 10,000 are going to fall by our side, and only with our eyes are we going to behold these things. He's declared this over us. He's declared this over us. So should we stay abreast of these things? Sure, because we should warn others, but we should only look at it from a place of awareness and not from a place of getting too overly involved and too overly distracted by these things, because it's just smoke and mirrors. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's just them devils playing games. It's just those devils playing games. That's it. Everything in this system has been designed to kill us. Has been designed to kill us, to distract us, to lead us astray, and to keep us enslaved to this system. Keep us enslaved to it. Money is no different. Money is perhaps the primary means that those devils use to keep us enslaved to this wicked system. And it's not even money. It's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. Constitutional money is gold and silver. Money throughout the annals of time has always been gold and silver. It's never been paper. It's never been paper. So now you see how silly it sounds. They got us so programmed and so distracted and so enslaved to this system. They now have us believing that paper is money, and they have convinced us to give us all of their gold and silver, and in exchange for paper. In exchange for paper. Nevertheless, I've talked too long. I've talked too long. Just wanted to make you abreast of what the Commandant of the Marine Corps said, and make you abreast that at the same time he's making these statements that Russia and China has made the declaration that they're going away from the petrodollar. But that's all smoke and mirrors. That's all the elite controlling this, because ultimately they don't care about money. They don't care about money. They just use it as a means to bring about the end goal, which is a one world government, a reign of darkness where Nimrod would be resurrected, and Hashatan will get the worship through him. Where Hashatan will get the worship through him. That's the end goal. That is the end goal. So instead of worrying about these distractions, set yourself apart to the Most High Yah. Throw down your idols. Make sure your garments are spotless. Make sure you are hidden in the secret place of the Most High Yah. And make sure that you are reverencing Yah and staying in the path of Zedekiah, whereby then he will send our older brothers, his Kodesh Malachim, to encamp around us and bear us up, lest we dash our feet against a stone. Cling to him. Cling to him. Cling to his instructions. Stay in the path of Zedekiah. Stay in the way of righteousness. Come out of this wicked system. Come out of this wicked system. Quit paying attention to all this smoke and mirrors and all these distractions that's going on around us. Ami, Shalom Zion. Shalom.